12 stands for local news. And now, from Arizona's #1 choice for local news, this is 12 News Today.
Just a couple of minutes ago, a stretch of I-17 just opened this morning after an overnight accident involving 7 cars and a semi. Details on what happened coming up.
It's a heavy issue. Should you be forced to keep a certain weight in order to keep your job? Well, the Borgata Babes, no joke, are the latest to weigh in on this one.
Good morning, I'm Nicole McGregor live in Scottsdale. Despite the rain, there is a huge show you don't want to miss in Scottsdale this weekend. And the rain, it does not matter. We'll tell you why. Stick around.
Well, the horses are up early, too.
Yeah.
Hey, happy Friday, everybody. 5 o'clock straight up. We're certainly glad you're with us today alongside Tram Ryan and Amy Brooke. I'm Scott White.
Some thunder and lightning last night.
Yes, and more on the way.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what's going on today. As you head into your Friday, it's going to be a rainy one. Plan for it. As we head into the weekend, those showers are going to be around in full force through Saturday, prompting flash flood watches. We'll show you those areas in a moment. But again, here's how your day shapes up with 50s as you head out the door this morning, 62 for your lunchtime and 66 for your drive home. And those rain showers are going to be around all morning long. Already there they are along State Route 51, along I-10 and US 60 and I-17 as well, probably causing a few problems out there. We'll check in with Aubrey in just a minute or so. We're looking at all this heavier rain now pushing into Yavapai and Coconino counties. We still have the light showers again across Maricopa County, but here are the flash flood watches that go into effect this afternoon through tomorrow afternoon, and that includes, of course, the Grand Canyon, Sedona, Wickenburg, Globe, and Sunflower, and areas in between. So those again are very flood-prone areas that have been saturated in weeks past and will continue, unfortunately, to get the heavy showers. 38 at the South Rim, 37 in Flagstaff. We're in the 50s right now in Phoenix, and we're going to watch this area of low pressure still in off to the west of us. It's going to gradually push in our direction by the time Saturday rolls around. It's going to mean snow for sections of Nevada, Utah, into Colorado, and even areas north of there. Our snow levels will be about 7,500 feet, and then by Saturday morning dropping to about 6,000 feet. So we will get some snow through our higher elevations once again as we head through the latter portion of the weekend. Low pressure beginning to push out of here Sunday, but another area of low pressure fast on its heels. So we're looking at chances for rain showers off and on over the next 7 days in our forecast. Snow continuing across the Great Lakes, especially the lower Great Lakes region areas of Ohio into western Pennsylvania this morning, really under the gun with the snow there. 63 in Lake Havasu today, 50 Prescott. You can see those temperatures coming down gradually. We should be in the mid-60s here in the Phoenix metro area. Again, those rain showers are going to be with us pretty much most of the day. Now here's Aubrey with a look at what's happening for your Friday morning commute.
Good morning, everyone. Well, as we told you off the top of the show, a stretch of I-17 just reopened. We had a serious overnight accident. It was here at Peoria Avenue that traffic was being diverted off the freeway. In fact, you can still see some of the cones right there just being cleared out of the way, so hopefully that's not going to cause a problem this morning. Right now, 17 not looking too bad. Let's switch on over for a look at the Papago Freeway. Here at 43rd Avenue, things also moving well. Traffic remains light, and it's Friday, so usually we do have that lighter traffic flow on Friday. Right now, everything good in the eastbound direction toward the stack. On our map, just one incident reported for the Valley this morning, and that is a stalled vehicle northbound Loop 101 at Indian School, so should be off to the side of the road and no delays anywhere in the East Valley. Matter of fact, let's get a check at US 60 right now, and this is out near Gilbert Road. You can see headlights of vehicles headed westbound. A little bit busier there than the other side of the freeway, but overall, you're still in good shape. So as we check those travel times, you'll find that everything's in the green. 12 minutes south on 17 from the stack to the Maricopa interchange, 11 minutes westbound on 10, the Broadway curve to Maricopa interchange, and then 8 short minutes, no delays. North on 143 between 10 and 202. We'll get another check on traffic ahead. Remember, you get traffic and weather together anytime you need at the bottom of your screen. And here's Chairman Scott with more details on that overnight accident.
We will. We'll stay with traffic. Thanks, Aubrey. New this morning, a 7-car accident shut down the I-17 in North Phoenix overnight. It happened a little bit before midnight near Cactus Road.
Yeah, for some reason, one of the cars stopped in the fast lane. DPS says the drivers behind that car tried to avoid it, but then collided. A big rig turned over on its side, and a tire from that truck flew into the lanes of the other side of the freeway. At last word, a woman was fighting for her life at the hospital.
A 46-year-old psychiatrist who triggered a bomb scare at Sky Harbor won't be facing charges.
I don't want to talk about it.
Dr. Isha Koshnu didn't want to talk about what happened when she finally landed in San Diego. TSA screeners say Koshnu was late and irate yesterday when she allegedly told them they couldn't find a bomb in her bag if there was one. That triggered this. Fellow passengers didn't know that there was a problem until they landed in San Diego.
Oh, it's pretty scary. Yeah, it was pretty scary. You know, you got people grabbing their coats and stuff. And it's like, you know, leave your coat. Let's get off the plane now.
No bombs were found. Koshnu was questioned and then released by the FBI. Mesa Air executives say that she will no longer be allowed to fly on their carrier. They're also considering taking legal action against her.
Well, President Bush is set to sign a bill today that limits class action lawsuits.
Let's look at some news now around the nation for you this Friday morning. Yesterday, the House passed the legislation which forces most multi-state class action suits into federal courts. Supporters say it'll protect against massive judgments. Opponents say it only helps businesses.
A Pennsylvania district attorney says there is insufficient credible evidence to sustain a sexual harassment charge against entertainer Bill Cosby. Cosby has denied the allegations, but it may not be over. A lawyer for one of the women says she may sue Cosby for alleged sexual misconduct.
Michael Jackson's defense team is going on the offensive. It wants to introduce evidence at his child molestation trial from a lawsuit filed by his accuser's family. The family evidently tried to sue a department store back in 2001. The defense says that will prove the family has a history of making false allegations.
Okay, folks, get ready for another one. There's another Virgin Mary vision to show you. A Minnesota couple claims there are two images. Take a good look of the Virgin Mary in their tree. It's in the stump of a limb they cut from an oak 5 years ago. Todd Swanson sees a bigger picture of Mary and the baby Jesus. Lori Swanson sees a smaller image of Mary in the brighter center. Time is 5:08, and now you are in the know. We've told you about businesses watching their employees wait, but this one takes the cake. Get this. Cocktail servers at the Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa in Atlantic City were told you will lose their job if you gain more than 7% of your body weight. Can you believe it? If anyone puts on too much weight, they'll get an unpaid suspension of up to 90 days. If they don't lose the weight, they'll be fired unless they're pregnant or they have a medical condition. The casino, which has dubbed the costume servers Borgata Babes, says there is nothing wrong with setting weight limits. And I want to know, is that legal?
I just can't see how it can be legal.
Yeah.
I'm just smelling lawsuit all over that one, aren't you?
Exactly. They can still look good and, have a little bit more
There's wacky stuff going on with weight right now. There's a Georgia lawmaker who wants to put students' body mass index on report cards.
I heard that, yeah. That is very controversial. Yeah, no need for that. Well, time right now, 5:10. Trying to get in shape for a wedding.
We will tell you about bridal boot camp up next.
And I'm Bram Resnick of the Arizona Republic. Starbucks now offering a whole lot more than a double shot of espresso. I'll explain.
Today is Friday, February 18th. Here's what's happening in the day ahead. Observances will be held marking the 60th anniversary of the battle at Iwo Jima.
U.S. Marines took the Japanese island during the final months of World War II. More than 6,800 Americans were killed. Local events will be held today and tomorrow at the Ira Hayes American Legion Post 84 in Sakatone. For more information, log on to azcentral.com.
Today, the FDA will decide whether to recommend the sales of some popular arthritis drugs. An FDA advisory panel will vote on whether the benefits of Vioxx, Celebrex, and Bextra justify the risks. Manufacturers will sell the drugs again if the FDA approves.
Hey, ladies, getting married? How does bridal boot camp sound? Bally's Total Fitness is now offering a series of 4-week programs designed to get brides in shape for their big day. The hour-long workouts are held every Friday at 5:30 p.m. And of course, no word yet on whether there are any classes for the grooms. They need them too,
They need them after they get married because they are the ones who tend to,
That's right.
Yeah. All the good food, right?
Yeah, that's right. The wedding 10. Sure, that's right. The married 10.
Intel is laying the groundwork today for its next big move in Chandler. I'm Bram Resnick of the Arizona Republic. In this morning's business headlines, the world's largest chip maker will file plans today to build or upgrade up to 3 more plants. The plan could position Arizona as the best choice when Intel executives pick a site for their next chip plant later this year. Intel could upgrade an existing plant or build new. That would create about 500 jobs. The company already employs 9,500 people here in Arizona. It's one of the fiercest business battles in the Valley, America West Arena versus the new Glendale Arena, and so far, Glendale is winning. The West Valley venue scored a coup with the U2 concert in April. Coyotes managing partner Wayne Gretzky even offered to play a round of golf with the band if they played Glendale. AWA officials say Glendale officials are offering sweetheart deals to promoters, but admit they have to work harder. You can find out more about the perks being offered to rock bands in this morning's Arizona Republic. Valley gas prices are just a nickel short of $2 a gallon this week. AAA Arizona says the Phoenix average for self-serve unleaded is $1.95, up almost a nickel from a week ago and 25 cents higher than this time last year. Analysts forecast record high prices at the pump this spring. Qwest Communications will not go quietly. The regional phone company says it will submit another bid for long-distance provider MCI, which agreed earlier this week to be acquired by Verizon Communications for $6.7 billion. On Wall Street, stocks losing ground on investor fears of rising interest rates and concerns over political tensions in the Middle East. Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted 80 points to close at 10,754. Broader markets also dipping. Nasdaq losing 26 points, S&P 500 dropping 9. And a Starbucks shot is getting a whole new meaning. The company is teaming up with Jim Beam to roll out its first alcoholic drink, a coffee liqueur. It will be sold in restaurants, bars, and liquor stores, but not in Starbucks coffee houses. It does come in a brown martini-like shaker. Our producer says it is the best coffee liqueur she has ever had, and I suppose she should know about those things.
And is it shaken or stirred?
Shaken and stirred.
Shaken and stirred.
Yes.
Okay.
Very nice.
Very good.
Okay.
All right, time now for the 12 News Talker. We asked this question: would you make a good apprentice candidate?
And here are some of the responses.
Yeah, we've got time for one this time around here. This is from Christine up in Prescott. I would be a terrible apprentice candidate. I'm not cutthroat enough, and I've always felt that the best part about being rich would be giving it all away. You go, Christine. I doubt very much that Donald and his cohorts feel the same way.
Yeah, I doubt it. You know, I do want to say for the record, because Tom Zenner, our beloved sports anchor, huge fan of The Apprentice. I called him last night. He told me that he, unfortunately, is going to be in Denver for the NBA All-Stars this weekend. Otherwise, you know, he'd be
poor
there.
Guy.
I know, exactly. But he did say he would go for it. But he'd want to go all the way to the top, and then when it was the final two, he'd tell Donald, no thanks. I don't want it.
No, thank you. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell
Graham,
Donald,
you could do
take
it.
that.
Seriously.
I could do it.
You could.
I
Seriously.
should
I know
do
you
it.
don't
What
want
do you
to.
think
but
makes a good
you should.
apprentice?
What makes a good apprentice?
What do you think?
He just looks for leadership. He just looks for somebody who will just do whatever it takes to win. Whatever, except take your pants off like that girl did last season.
Ooh, yeah, we didn't need to see that.
No, didn't need that. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever it
Thank
takes.
you, Bram.
Anytime.
Our apprentice expert. Only on 12 News this morning, we are getting a preview of the big Arabian Horse Show happening out at Westworld this weekend. The show is the largest of its kind in the world. Nicole McGregor is there with some of the organizers. And Nicole, I gotta say, that was a great conversation you had with the horse. We love that.
I'm actually on Ace as we speak. Isn't he just brilliant? He's beautiful, beautiful horse. 2,200 Arabian horses will be out here at the Westworld area this weekend, actually for the next 10 days, as a matter of fact. And if you're worried about the rain, don't be. Janice joins us from the Arabian Horse Show. Good morning to you, Janice.
Good morning. It's nice to have you here this morning.
Thank you so much. Now tell me why we don't need to worry about the rain. You prepared, right?
We had a feeling that we might be having some rain this year, so we prepared by covering several of the outdoor arenas. All of our shopping areas are in town, and of course we're in the Equidome right here. That's an all-weather event place, so we're okay for weather.
Yeah, basically a lot of the events here have covering, including the shopping, 300 different vendors and all of that as well. So come on out no matter what the weather. We're joined now by Anna. Come on over here, Anna. Let's talk to you a little bit about what we're seeing behind us right now.
What you're looking at behind you is the discipline we call hunter-jumper in Arabs. Arabs do lots of different things. This is one of them. That's more a jumper-style fence. And we have two of our youth riders. Ariana, she's 11. And actually, that's an adult amateur rider. And they're warming up over this jump right now.
Now, we are going to see a lot of the kids on horses this weekend, right? That's the featured event. Explain
Absolutely. This is the big weekend for the kids. Most of this weekend is dedicated to youth, and you'll see them doing all kinds of things. They'll be doing reining, they'll be doing pleasure riding, they'll be doing some of this and some sport horse, anything. There's something for everybody.
We could even see a little 5-year-old you said out there trotting around.
There's some lead liners, and you'll see them this weekend as well, 6 and under.
Arabian horses, you say, are extremely versatile. Like, we could see one of these horses here right now on the showroom floor, and then we could take them out on a trail ride as well?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, especially like the one you're on, for example. Just standing there.
Well, clearly he's a very good horse if he's got me on him. So yeah, that's great.
Arabians are great that way. They're great for everybody. Kids, adult amateurs, anyone can ride an Arabian.
Fabulous. Janice, now come right over here one more time. Hold this as if you would, and tell me what else is going on here at the Arabian Horse Show. It's not just all about horses, right?
Right, we've got lots of shopping available. You'll find things here for sale by our commercial exhibitors that you won't see anywhere else. Different items in the way of artwork and things to decorate your house with, and clothing that you won't see anywhere else either.
Excellent.
We like everyone to come and enjoy.
The Arizona House has given preliminary approval to urge Congress to pass a constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage. Supporters say the measure would further protect the sanctity of families. Opponents say it treats gays differently from heterosexuals. The measure now moves on to a formal vote in the House. Well, it is likely that with a population boom, the community of Santan will someday be a city. Yesterday wasn't that day. The new city would have popped up south and east of Queen Creek, but in a unanimous vote, the Pinal County Board of Supervisors denied Santan's proposed incorporation. Supporters evidently didn't have enough valid signatures.
Well, it is time to raise the roof in Glendale. Workers plan to hoist a 5,600-ton retractable roof on the Cardinals' new stadium this weekend. That's like lifting the Eiffel Tower all at once, folks. Some 120 engineers, steel workers, and specialized equipment operators will be needed during the 3-day operation. Stadium officials say rain shouldn't deter the lift, although it could be delayed if there are high winds or lightning. The $370 million stadium is set to open in August '06.
Steve Nash said earlier this week that he would get together with some of his old Dallas teammates before last night's game, but no matter who they're playing, Nash prepares for every game by sweating it out in practice. Earlier this week, I got to go one-on-one, kinda, with the Suns point guard.
Coaches and players will tell you Steve Nash lives in the gym. On the day we caught up to him, he and Amari Stoudemire were the last two players to leave practice. I asked Nash what it's like to come back to Phoenix after 6 years in Dallas.
I love living in Phoenix. It's a terrific city to live in. You know, the weather obviously is great. It's very civilized and easy to live in, and I just think it's a really conducive atmosphere to relax and have fun.
Nash's late practices to pop three-pointers or shoot free throws when he's tired certainly pay off come game time. He's the glue to the Suns' offense and just maybe the player to lead them to a championship, a role that Steve Nash welcomes.
My responsibility is to make sure everyone's ready to go and motivated and feeling good about themselves. And, I think in some ways I should be the glue, being the veteran and point guard.
Call 12 for Action's Dave Cherry is here with a consumer problem centering around a new internet scam.
Yeah, Trent, we're seeing a lot more of this these days, and we're not really exactly sure why. This scam is called modem hijacking, and it's where an internet user gets tricked into downloading software that resets their computer to dial an international logon number. Now, if you get caught by this scam, it can be costly.
Well, they said, well, you probably did it on your computer.
Richard Rink says there was nothing suspicious about one particular website he was checking out. He had clicked on a few buttons looking for information. Then a month later, he received a bill from AT&T for $434 in long-distance charges.
They told me it was from an island off Africa.
Apparently, Richard had allowed a scam artist to hijack his computer and reset his modem so that whenever he logged on, he would be calling overseas.
You agreed with the above, and the above was that you'd pay long-distance charges.
He tried to explain the modem hijacking scam to AT&T, who wasn't even his regular long-distance provider. But they said the calls were made and they wanted to be paid. He refused.
I wrote them a letter and I said that I would welcome a lawsuit.
AT&T sent Richard's late payment to a collection agency who made a notation on his credit report. That was it. Richard decided to call 12 for Action. Our volunteers called AT&T and explained how this scam works. That was all it took.
She said that AT&T was wiping out the billing. Within the past week, we've got a letter from AT&T, which we can't locate, that says that the billing is zero.
With the matter resolved, Richard says he'll read the fine print on any websites he visits in the future. And he's very thankful our volunteers kept him from getting scammed.
Well, I think it was sweet, awful sweet of them.
And that's another call 12 for Action. Case closed. Now, the folks at AT&T were under no obligation to waive these charges, but because it appeared that Richard's modem had been hijacked, they decided to take care of him as a gesture of goodwill. This $434 brings Call 12 for Action's total consumer savings for this month to $20,379. And the bottom line with modem hijacking is read the fine print. If they ask you to click on something, yes, I agree. Make sure you read what the fine print is under that.
Okay.
And did Richard say you were a sweet guy? Is that what
I don't know if he was talking about me or
okay.
the volunteer, but I'll take it. I'll take any compliment I can get.
Dave Cherry. Well, thousands are gathering in New York City for a sneak peek at the toys making their debut at the annual Toy Expo. These are the ones that your kids will be begging for come Christmas time. Smart and savvy mom Julie Edelman joins us now live from the International Toy Center in Manhattan. Julie, good morning to you.
Good morning. Yes, start saving your money now.
I know we all have to. So what is new at this year's Toy Fair?
Well, first of all, there's some new exhibits. One's called the Sweet Shop, which has all your favorite candies like Jelly Bellas and hobby type things. There's also one for education called Reading, Writing, and Rhythm, which is very neat. And actually, Scott, this is what I think is going to be, pardon the pun, a sleeper hit. This is called the Magical Monster Trap. And, you know, my son used to be really scared of monsters in the closet when he went to sleep. This will help rid them and rid him, although he's a little older now, of those kinds of fears. Also, there's some real different kinds of trends going on. There's a lot of interactive games out there for the computer, but where you're really active, where you're actually hitting a ball versus just pushing buttons. Plus, for tween-age girls, you know, they love to be creative, but they also like to make a fashion statement. And debuting this year are these. These are Style Studio kits from Revel Monogram. And what's neat about them, you can see they come with the thongs, they decorate them, they can do pocketbook, belt, plus they're under $10. So they're not only a great gift idea, but they could also be a great stocking stuffer idea.
Hey, Julie, I'm going to throw out a couple of numbers here. This is the largest expo in the Western Hemisphere with more than 1,500 manufacturers and distributors from over 30 different countries. I'm just wondering, are all these guys, are they aiming for like a specific kid? You know, a boy or boys ages 3 to 5?
Well, they all have different target markets. You know, for example, this company is called Big Time Muscle. Well, who do you think they're after? This is Jada Toys, and they are after the boys market. And what they see is that cars are back, but not just, you know, your traditional kinds of cars. These are the cars you're seeing on the street. You know, they've got the souped-up wheels, the boom boxes, they're RC, they're also die-cast. So even for older boys like yourself, if you like collectibles, they've got these great model cars. Another thing, you know, they're also looking at is, you know, sort of the trend and what's happened with trading cards. They've gone from being just collectibles to tournament play, so that's evolving. And, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! By Upper Deck is really following that trend. They're the #1 trading card out there. And what they've created are these things called structure decks, and these are some of them. This is Zombie and Dragon Roar. And what I mean by a structure deck is that you can immediately just buy one deck and you're ready to play a tournament. So there's a change in that.
Hey, Julie, very quickly, 5 seconds here. Give us your website address so people can get more information.
All right, it's at smartandsavvymom.com. It's too bad I had so many other fun things.
I know. We had to wrap it up, so I apologize for that. But listen, have a great weekend there, okay? Thanks.
All right, you too, Scott. Good to see you.
Were you taking notes?
Yeah, I'm telling you, those cars, like the whole tricked out cars, whether it's the little matchboxes or the things that she was showing us, the bigger ones, those are huge this year. Yeah.
I think Spencer and Grayson know what they want.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And yeah, they'll get it. At least some.
Okay.
This morning, the Valley is using a new device to help stroke patients. If you watched last night's episode of ER, then you saw the Mercy Retriever. It's a corkscrew-like device, and it can basically remove blood clots. Doctors across the country say it will revolutionize stroke treatment and also stroke recovery. This morning, we head out to the Barrow Neurological Institute at St. Joseph's Medical Center, and that's where Dr. Cameron McDougall joins us live. Dr. McDougall, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So let's start off broad here, if we can. Explain this new stroke technology for us.
Well, the Retriever is a device that allows us to access the smaller blood vessels in the brain and to unclog them when a stroke is occurring. And if we can do that early enough and restore blood flow to the brain, then we can prevent serious damage from a stroke and allow patients to recover more quickly. So it really is a revolutionary thing.
And is this device used after someone has had a stroke?
This is used as the stroke is occurring. So ideally it's used within minutes or a few hours of the first symptoms of a stroke. So it's very important that patients are aware of stroke symptoms and that they get to treatment early.
And how long does this whole procedure take?
Well, that can be a little bit variable depending on the difficulty of the anatomy, the location of the clot. The actual procedure probably takes about an hour.
Now, besides last night's episode of ER, this device was recently profiled in People magazine, and in the article it was referred to, Doctor, as, quote, the most advanced tool that we have to treat stroke, end quote. Is that true, in your opinion?
Well, I think what this is a tool that proves a principle. It proves that we can get there rapidly, restore flow, and improve patient outcomes. And so that's really the revolution, proving that we can do that effectively and safely. And we're very happy to have a device that gets this rolling.
And I'm just wondering, in terms of getting it rolling, is it doctors who come up with this technology and then take it to a company, or is it companies that come to doctors like you and say, hey, we need to try this out?
Certainly, this happens both ways. The inventor of this device is actually an acquaintance named Pierre Gobin, and he's an inventive guy, and he came up with the plan and went to a company and and made it work.
Are you concerned, and maybe you always are with new technology, but could you be concerned that maybe 2, 3, 4 years down the road that you will know some of the effects that you don't know now?
I think that this technology, in terms of understanding, even though it's a sophisticated piece of technology to accomplish its task, the basic principle of it, of removing the plug in an artery, is pretty straightforward, and generally speaking, I don't think that's going to cause a lot of problems. I think that's can almost only be a good thing.
Okay, well, it is a fascinating topic, and Dr. McDougall, we appreciate your time and your insight this morning. Have a good weekend, okay?
This is for all you folks who go to work in your bathrobe and slippers. I'm Bram Resnick of the Arizona Republic. In today's Money Minute, an estimated 44 million Americans work from home. That is 1/3 of the workforce. Now, you save money on work clothes and on gas for commutes, but you can also save some money on your taxes. But few work-at-homers claim the valuable home office deduction. Here are the 3 tests you need to pass to make that claim. If you're self-employed, consider your home office your principal place of work and have no other place to do business, you should pass the first test for the deduction. If you work for a company, you can only claim the deduction if the office is for the employer's convenience. What does that mean? Well, if the boss tells you to work at home because the company's running out of space, that's deductible. But if you beg the boss to work from home to make your life easier, that doesn't get a tax break. Now, here's the next hurdle, and it stops most people. The office must be a separately identifiable space used exclusively for business. A dining room table or a guest room doing double duty doesn't count. Now, let's assume you pass those tests. The IRS lets you deduct a portion of your home's expenses, such as mortgage, utilities, and insurance, on your taxes. Tally the square footage of your office, divide by the square footage of your house, and then multiply by 100. That is the percentage of your housing expenses you can deduct. It could be a pretty nice deal. Tax experts say many home office workers avoid claiming that deduction out of the fear they're screaming, "Audit me." But if you do it right, a home office claim is just a pink flag, not a red one.